Good morning. Silence, being aware of our breath. That's what I was focusing on, what we worked yesterday. The box breathing, keeping my attention on my in breath, my out, feeling it, wondering what word for today. I invite you to explore your word in your silence. Notice what your body wants to do in the silence. Where it wants to go.
My word today is intimacy. Intimacy.
and just observe what that word means to you. Try it on. Thank you, Craig, for inviting us into that word, into that meaning each of us create. Get intimate with how it was delivered and how you received it. Practice being intimate with yourself. Discovering intimacy.
And what else could it mean?
Yes, thank you for demonstrating even another layer, the creative layer. Is that has us look at other options.
More, please.
Mm. It's it's like we are getting intimate with our moment of now.
Could we experience all of the moment?
I say, do I like that? Do I like this? Is it what I want? Just a simple yes or no. Yet we can make it mean so much more. If it is, then it's yes, more of that. If it isn't what you want, that's where the how could it be is so useful. And then you get curious. I invite you to my word of the day, curious. Notice how I delivered it. Notice how it landed just for you. Could you be intimate with curiosity? Could you be curious? Why is this different? Why what we do is different? Curious of the silence. What's in it? What's in it for me?
My word for the day is vitality.
am intimately curious of vitality.
Hmm.
Is what is there and what isn't. Creates what could be.
Mhm.
Isn't everything a could be? Doesn't everything start as a could be?
I would say.
That sounds vital to me.
We had a bit of rain last night, and the leaves on the trees are still wet. And when the sun shines on them, there's this reflection of the water. It's so beautiful. And that kind of transmits vitality when you look at them. The plants hold so much vitality for us.
Water, sunshine,
Mm.
earth and soil. So much vitality. All the ways it could, and here we are. Intimate curiosity. Creates vitality. Would someone like to speak to their silence this morning?
I'll go. Mine was full of inquiry, I would say. So that curiosity of what is this? What might this be? Where are my own ceilings, in other words, limitations? How could I expand? Or what's on the other side? And then just quiet. And the peace of that. Like a floating free floating.
Yeah. Thank you. And all those concepts, things, thoughts that came into your existence, came into your mind. They're there for some purpose, some reason. We just don't always know why. Nor have we taken much time to acknowledge them. Always amazes me. We get something from the nothing.
Mhm.
And then realize it's part of everything. Wow, why am I aware of that today? Did you anything resolved? Anything like concrete? Like our tendency is to get something at the end of it. I don't say we have to. I think a bigger opportunity is to allow it, see it.
I think I'm very blessed because I've had so much guidance and been able to experience the benefit of just being in that vast expansion without a definition. Accepting that it brings about a different experience for me when I'm out of it. I think that guidance was always that experience of acceptance and love and support, to just be with it, to just be with whatever there is. And that creates a space. And when you have that space and expansion, there's more opportunity, so much more for different creations. Different orientation. And capacity to share and connect. And through sharing and connecting, there's more expansion.
Who doesn't want an expanding life?
Yeah, like Craig said earlier, more please.
Yeah. Yeah, because all potential dwells there. All potential dwells in that space. The space in between everything. Of course, we want more. We are designed to dwell there too. And to bring little chunks of it into the material world.
Creating space for something new. Space for something to be different.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Information for something to be different. And we may only listen to it one way. The same. Resisting the difference. When we pause, we really listen. That is, pause the action, pause the movement, pause the sound, pause the thoughts, the emotions. And just sit in what is. still aware of the intimacy, the curiosity, and the vitality of you, of me, of us, and we, right here, present, right now. And looking forward. What could be?
And an intimacy with the void itself. Embrace the void and allow yourself to be embraced by the void.
The void is what fills in between where we are and where we want to be.
Yeah, because it permeates that open space.
And the void was there before we realized even that we were here. It's always been there.
Yeah, the void was there before material,
You know,
at least
even
according to
before-
Genesis.
Even before concept.
Yeah, yeah.
We can think of it in our thought process. Like we have, before we have an idea, it comes from a void. And then when we have that idea, oh, there's an idea, we get a vision of what it could be, where we're going. And the void is still there between that tension, between where we are and where we're going. That void assists it. It creates it. And our tendencies is to fill that void with expectations, how it has to be, the way it needs to look, how it has to go.
Yeah, instead of going with how it already exists.
Yeah. And
Formless.
it can-
And
and it
formlessness,
can work
right?
that way. It can work that way. Just like Pascal, he was always there, and he came from nowhere to be here.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I like it.
We're just talking about you materializing
Oh,
from the void.
and I was talking to Kai. How did he manifest me for 6 months?
And what did you hear?
Just a smile.
Mm. An all-knowing smile.
Yeah, yeah. So what did that smile mean to you, Pascal?
He's like,
What did
I'm
he
a
say?
powerful creator. I'm a powerful creator.
Right on.
Yeah. Yeah.
This kid has got such a great start to his life.
No kidding. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. He knows he's blessed.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know you are too, of course.
Oh yeah. Like even, I think someone was talking about even the period of, you would say, like chaos, right? Like last night, like didn't want to sleep and he woke up like 5 times and crying, like you don't even know why, but you're like, but you love this bean so much. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's unbelievable. As soon as you grab him, like he stopped crying, and you're like, wow, like it's just, yeah, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. And I gotta spend the whole day with him today because my
Bonus.
my wife is taking my in-laws to Banff and Johnson Canyon and stuff. So because they're leaving Monday, right? So
Oh,
she want them to visit the area a little bit more.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, sounds good.
Mhm.
One more work day.
oh yeah. And then you go on your paternity leave.
Yeah. Yeah. My last day is Saturday.
Yeah, that's going to be an adventure for you too.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to learn a lot.
Oh, tons.
Yeah.
You guys can probably see me transform.
Well, we already have.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
what else is new?
Yeah, exactly. What
More
else
new,
is-
please.
Yeah. No kidding, eh?
So I have to go for today again. Thank you so much, Pascal. I'm glad I still caught you. Have a great day. Hey, thank
Yeah, you
you,
too, eh?
Jason.
Bye, Allison. Have a lovely day. Big love.
Bye, Allison.
You guys hear me okay when I'm walking like that?
Yep.
It's better than the truck.
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
there was a glitch here and there, but it wasn't. I could basically hear everything you said. So
Okay. Yeah, because if not, like I'll get some new earphones and stuff. Because that's my plan. Walking the dog in the morning, be with you guys. I don't know if I'll be able to do it every morning, but most morning.
yeah, I've been walking every morning too. It's It's kind of nice. I can get into the zone with you guys. Can swim in the void together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get more inspiration when I do something. Right? Like I said, like
Yeah.
when my mind, my finite mind is preoccupied, then it gives room
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the higher mind.
I know I'm back in the house now and I'm pacing.
Mm.
So it's like, yeah, I just like my body moving a little bit when I'm in this space. Good old theta brainwaves.
Yeah.
Gotta love them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
we had
listened to yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to mention we had a lot of really pregnant space today, full of potential, full of like silence. Nice. Yeah.
Is Joe showed up for day 3 as well? No,
Not yet.
not yet. Yeah, no, I listened to solfeggio chakra system the whole night. I was thirsty this morning.
Yeah.
Holy.
How did you feel when you woke up after doing that?
Felt a little bit like, I don't know, hard to say. It's like drain in a good way.
Yeah, you might not notice the effects
out
right away either. If you do it more than you do it a few nights, you might notice it more of a difference.
Yeah, it's the second night, but it's like a 8.5 hours track. But the thing is, I don't sleep 8.5 hours, so I had to take where I left off and then loop it again. So yeah, I don't know if I do it right, but
you found an 8-hour one.
Yeah,
and I guess you said you got interrupted a few times.
Yeah, so I had to pause it.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Part of it, right? Part of it.
Yeah. So is that a recording that kind of works through the chakras?
Yeah.
Solfeggio. There's a tone for each chakra, or a frequency, a specific frequency. Yeah.
But like, there's tons, so it's I don't know if they all good, right? So that's the thing. Like, I'm sure they all do their best, but some people are better at recording them, or
there's.
But I found like a lady, she does like Simatone.
Oh, yes.
And I want to try, I want to do like a month subscription, just like a month, and then see what's that about,
Yeah. That's interesting. That listening to stuff overnight has a lot to do with me meeting up with Chris Duncan and Magnetic Mind. I think it was in March of last year. One of my friends suggested to me that there was there's a lady who does who actually does she has these recordings, and basically what she does is she talks to your superconscious.
Okay.
Throughout
Louise
the night.
Hay?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Louise.
No, it wasn't Louise Hay.
No. That's not her.
No,
Okay.
this is somebody, and she's in Vancouver. I know that, and she's kind of amazing. So anyway, I started listening to these things, and it's
Mhm.
like, they speak to your she speaks to your super conscious to like to kind of reprogram you while you're sleeping. And it's mostly about healing and internal balance and all that kind of stuff. And
Right.
and one morning, this would be beginning of July of last year, one morning I woke up after listening to this whole thing, because it was uninterrupted by those ads that they have in YouTube. And
Oh,
when
okay.
it was finished, it went through the full 8 hours, and when it was finished, there was an ad that came on, and guess who the ad was?
Oh, that was
It
Magnetic
was
Mind.
Chris Duncan talking about superconscious. And I went,
Yeah.
oh, isn't that interesting? Because I've been following
Yeah.
the superconscious for a number of months now, and putting that in my ears as I sleep. And then he showed up right there.
Yeah, I heard about him from a Qigong practitioner.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I did like a few
Yeah.
sessions of Qigong, and then like he was mentioning about him. I don't think she ever took his course, but she was mentioning about him.
Yeah, interesting.
You know.
So yeah, what's wild about that too is that something had just happened where I had some money, and I could afford to get into his program.
Mm.
And all that kind of happened all concurrently, like magic.
Nice.
I don't know if I ever get used to that, but those magic things keep happening. The way things just kind of magically sync up for you at the perfect time, in the perfect order,
Yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. It's intriguing and fascinating, and
Infinite consciousness.
yeah, exactly.
As day 4 of infinite consciousness, all that is, has, and ever will be.
Mm.
And for us to reconnect with that. To be aware that we're easily distracted away from it. And when we get distracted for too long, or for too far, or for too far out of line, right, we end up with big wobbles, unbalances, out of harmony, misalignments. And those can go on for years, decades.
Oh, yes. I can attest to that.
Because we're not conscious about it.
Yeah.
It's an automatic.
An automatic pattern, conditioned.
Yeah. There was a power that sucked me back, though, that brought me back in.
So yesterday we practiced working on our breathing, box breathing. And the purpose of that is to slow everything down, quiet the environment, the mind, and just explore and listen to the body. That's the beginning of infinite consciousness. That is the beginning to the communication channel. And the communication channel we all have. And what is it communicating? Usually our heart's desire, our purpose, our passion, how to be in peace, which is in alignment with the true self. And that's through our power. Now, power, if I say, oh, you're powerful, most people resist that, fight that, will argue that, run away from being powerful. And all of that is a revealing of a wobble. That is what I call a wobble. What's that,
unless it
Pascal?
means strength. Unless it means strength.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, then everybody wants it, right?
Yeah.
But there's a way.
But who really wants it?
Some people
Who is
do,
the
some
person
don't.
that wants it?
My point.
No, but who wants it? Like, is it like a finite mind or higher mind?
Well, if someone wants it, they lack it. Their interpretation, their story.
Yeah, they want it because they think they don't have it.
And people can see power as authority. So it all depends on how the unique individual has been conditioned to the word power.
Yeah.
My point, day 4, is to begin to notice our wobbles. So just the word "you're powerful," as we begin to feel it, right? That we either can accept it, be like, oh yeah, I believe that. I can see that. Yeah, they're curious. We're curious about it. I wonder what that is. There's two, that's one thing that can happen. And the other thing that happened, people, oh no, I don't want anything to do with that. One's aligned, one's wobbled. Because the point of it is, power is just a neutral word. Welcome, Joe. Day 4.
It's day 3.
Day 4,
day
Pascal.
3, though. Is
Day
it?
4. Yeah.
Is that the
Sunday was day 1.
Was day 2 yesterday. Ah.
No, day 3 was yesterday. Yeah, I could have misspoke it as
Okay.
well.
Yeah, that's okay.
And maybe it is 3. I don't remember. Either way, we started it. I don't remember. Joe, what do you say?
You started it.
I think you're right, Pascal. I think you're right.
I think it was on Monday, wasn't it? And I think it's Wednesday now.
Well, we
Either
worked
way,
it.
Yeah, it is Wednesday today.
Yep. So, all right. I had us starting the day earlier on it.
Head start, no worries.
Which is fine. Which we do it every morning,
Oh, yeah.
so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's probably day 300 to be honest, but you know.
That's right.
What are you saying, Joe?
Blessed, blessed all the way.
Nice.
Are you guys well?
Yeah,
Good.
I feel peace.
Thank you. Beautiful.
I'm feeling blessed.
I'm feeling relaxed.
many dimensions to all those.
So yesterday was permission,
Mm.
giving yourself permission.
Permission for your heart's desires to come through.
Permission to have what you want, to be who you want to be. Permission for your true self.
Permission to feel good.
Permission to acknowledge the now, to be aware of it, to be in it, to be present. With the chief aim of being feeling good. Yeah, the good feeling.
Permission to feel everything.
That's right. That's permission to feel like shit if you want to. If you do. No judgment here. It's your choice. Your permission. You give it to yourself. It's your experience, you know, permission for your experience. You're the one creating it. No one else is. No one else is responsible for it. So we did breathing yesterday, right? To be present in the now. Permission granted. What did anything we'd share? Anything day 3? Anything we will share with anyone? What did we notice? What did we learn?
Because something Pascal said yesterday, I don't know, it stuck with me. And like yesterday, I found myself, like every time I got like a moment of like peace, I'd kind of get the idea, okay, let's do the 10-second in, 10-second hold. And I'd be doing it whether I'll be in the gym or just walking along. And I found, yeah, I kept on coming back to that. But then I find that like I'll do the breathing and it's not many breaths until I'm flipping daydreaming about something else. It's, oh, I've flipping gone off with that thought again. So it's like coming back to the breath. And yeah, it was inspiring what Pascal said, literally, where he sits in that for like half an hour. So like, yeah, I didn't get half an hour, but definitely got a few minutes. But it was like top of mind as well. So it kept coming to me. And yeah, so just that breath. And then I think the breath's important. But like, say if we like really tense or something, a good step would be to like learning to relax all the body. That could take us into deeper relaxation.
That would be an anchor.
I'll have a hard time to walk though. But go ahead.
So yeah,
it might be another. Thank you, Joe. That's definitely, as we practice it more, you know, we'll build in an anchor to it, because just because you practice it for a day doesn't mean, right, that you'll be able to do 30 minutes, because look, this is training your focus.
Mm,
It's retraining the brain, the mind, and all we're doing is seeing where does it go when it's quiet?
Yeah.
Because that's where the peace, relaxation, like the true self, then the subtle messages are coming from the silence. And when our monkey mind isn't silent, there's no space for anything new.
mm,
Yeah. So for energy types like yours, Joe, whatever you can do to slow everything down, to slow yourself down, to slow even your heart rate,
mm,
is the most empowering thing that you can do for yourself.
mm.
Because it's in your heart, in the silence that your heart speaks to you.
Mm. Yeah.
And busyness of any kind drowns it out.
Mm.
Worry, fear, stressed, all of that, busy,
Yep.
all of that. I mean, Maria, Mary, was it Mary? Mary yesterday.
Yeah.
Mary was an example of that. To refocus, a realignment, like there was a wobble, right? Living in a wobble. How the hell do you get out of the wobble? You just keep wobbling. If you keep doing the same thing, just keep feeding the wobble. Ugh.
Yeah, and hyperactivity is just another form of stress.
There's no way out of it. It's an
Yeah.
unresolvable loop.
Exactly.
It's like Pascal, it's like who's having it, right? Who's in it? You got to pull yourself out of it and look at it and be like, oh, that's what's going on here. Detach from it.
Yeah, the only way to interrupt the loop is to stop.
Mhm.
Interrupt the pattern.
But just notice the awareness of the whole thing.
Yep.
I heard something pretty good yesterday. He's like, you're the awareness, not what you're aware of.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I think awareness is a nice stepping stone toward infinite consciousness. Infinite consciousness might be quite a leap. So I think referring to it as awareness is,
Well, maybe the word is scary for people, right?
yeah, it depends
'Cause
where
like,
they're at.
as soon as I say consciousness, like my wife runs away.
Yeah.
That's like, that's what you are, you know? But like,
But I heard
I
that
watch something on
consciousness.
Gaia, and then like they hear like they'll say like consciousness, and be like, oh, can you shut this up? Like,
Yeah.
so you're afraid of yourself. That's what you're saying.
Is consciousness another word for love?
That could be, right?
Yeah.
Love and wisdom.
Yeah. Love is contained in it. and vice versa.
I don't believe it's automatically held like that. Meaning, I don't believe it's conditioned or taught in that concept of it. Doesn't mean that it could be or couldn't be.
Depends who your teacher. Depends who your teacher.
Yeah. I think consciousness is all it is, has, and ever will be, and
For
it's
sure.
everything's from love. Because then I heard spirituality translates into breath. It's just simpler words, because people have got their own connotations applied to them, haven't they? Their own definitions.
The origin of the word spirit, the English word spirit, is breath, actually.
Yeah.
It's what was breathed into Adam that made him into a living being, according to the Genesis story.
Yeah.
The breath of life
Yeah.
is spirit, yeah. That's why it's so effective for awareness. But like you said, you noticed yesterday, Joe, when you're doing the exercise, that your mind went into a free float and you forgot about your breathing. Yeah. Which is a great place to be.
Yeah. It's just that sometimes it depends on the thought that's coming up. You know, if it's like a high, uplifting thought, like because yesterday I thought came up and I was like, no, back to the breath. But then I was like, no, actually, this is quite a cool thought.
Yeah.
That's the mind tempting me, innit? Oh, well, he's not listening to that, then let's get him with something else. Oh, listen to this one. Do you know what I mean? I'll be flipping tricks again. I'm like, oh, for God's sake, man, he pulled me in again. But obviously, like, the genius can come through in that silence and like the intuition. So it's deciphering and feeling the vibe of that communication, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's also the channel for it to come through. So it's interesting one.
Here's what, like, as I was working through this, what I noticed is if it came again and again, so it was like, oh, when I noticed it the third time, it was like, oh, there it is again for the third time. I'll pay attention to it now. You know, it really began. It was like I started to notice it to it was like I probably 5 times, right, was originally, but now it's really like give it real attention when it shows up again, like at least twice, right? It's like, there it is again. Okay, I'm listening now.
Yeah. Having the confidence to let go of something to see if it's actually important enough to come back.
That's the key to it, right? That's the only reason why to get back into silence. I mean, it's not the point of it is, if silence was our automatic, then we would be doing something else. But we've got to get the awareness, like you said, awareness is the starting position. I mean, if you think about it, awareness starts every time, every moment of now. 99.9% of the time, we're not aware, which gives a lot of room to improve.
Which is probably why things show up. Because we're not aware of them. oh, you're not aware of this. So let's
Well,
pop it in there.
if 40 million bits of information are happening and we're able to see 2,000 of them, all we're doing is expanding, closing that gap. Or opening it up of how much more we observe out of that 40 million.
Yeah, and using our mind for what it was designed for.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was listening to some. I've been going crazy on Kevin Trudeau again, and I was listening to something called Know the Score, and something that flipping blew my head off. Right, was when he was talking about, say, like things want to grow in business or whatever, or like say, for example, this call, like say we wanted to get 10 people on here, 20 people, 100 people. What he was saying, right, was like literally have a graph, yeah. Okay, so it's like right now we've got 4 people, right? And he was saying literally if the whole team just got together and looked at that graph and just imagined it going up, yeah, it would start going up with that
Add one
particle
to
flow,
it.
just looking at the graph. Wow, which was mad, you know, to think that you could just look at a graph, send it particle flow, wish it to grow, and he was saying things like, for example, like he'd do a meditation or something, and then some sales would come in, and then people would be like, well, wouldn't that sale have come in anyway? And he's like, well, no. Do you know what I mean? And I remember that once happened when I had the freelancer formula offer and I had the ads going, and I did like a little meditation, yeah. Like I just
So
went
Joe,
into the out, and then I noticed someone bought something, like, and it was like into law of attraction and all that, and it was just too weird. Anyway, go on, what you saying, mate?
we just got another one when you said that.
Morning,
Hi,
Mona.
Mona.
Morning all.
Hello,
Morning.
Mona.
Look, that was right as what you were talking about, was it not?
Well,
Pascal's dog agrees anyway.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry, I lost you a bit there, Jess. What do you mean?
So there was 4 of us, and you said, "Oh, let's just use this call for example. If we wanted it to grow, then we would da 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 da." And as soon as you
And
said
then Mona
that, Mona
came.
joined.
This is it.
That's
This is it. Like,
Yeah,
that's part of awareness, yeah.
it's not magic, it's just truth.
it looks like magic. Feels like magic.
Looks like magic.
Or we can say it was just that's just it was like that's just what it was, right? Wouldn't it have happened anyway, right? We
I
could say
don't
that
know.
too.
This is a good opportunity. Mona, like, what triggered you to come today? Like, did you get any thoughts cross your mind, or was it just like you got a spare moment?
No, I'm fixing to go for a walk. And I felt that this would be the best thing to take on my walk, was listening and joining in on this conversation today.
Yes. Beautiful. Well,
We had the
thank you.
same thought, Mona.
Yeah, I had the same thought too, man. We all seem to be getting the same thoughts.
Yeah, all this stuff is
When-
coordinated.
When I had my migraines, I got away from doing the walking in the morning, and my body's like going, what was that about? So now that my migraines aren't acting up, I'm back to doing the physical activity that I needed to do. And participating in this conversation is an excellent thing to do while I'm on my walk. Because I walk away with really nice nuggets. And I get to bring in nice nuggets too. Like yesterday when Allie showed up, she was not really, she didn't know if she should come. But by the time she left, she felt like she was glad she came.
Makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, it was all worthwhile.
We bless. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. So I get to walk away with words of wisdom and things like that.
All the good stuff.
So wobble, wiggle, giggle. Yeah. Wobble, wiggle, giggle. Just it's an awareness tool, and it's an awareness tool of a wobble, wiggle, giggle. A wobble is something that throws us out of balance, out of harmony, out of alignment. Yeah, it throws us off. So if you could say, if like, oh, if I wanted to be in peace, like I wanted to be calm, if I wanted to be centered, right? A wobble is going to throw us off of that. Now, most of us, before working with this, before awareness, we just are familiar with a wobble. Like life is a wobble. We're just, again, unaware that we're living in a wobble because we're just keep going around and around our center alignment. Anyone got an experience? Anyone attest to that? Anyone speak to it? Anyone help someone else listening connect to it?
A good way for me to get out of that loop is to laugh.
Giggle.
Laugh at myself.
Good.
Laugh at how I've.
So how do you notice that? So there's a laugh, right? So it's like, okay, when I'm out of it, I know that a good way to get out of it is a laugh, right? Laugh. Okay, so what happens just before the laugh?
I realize I'm maybe being too serious and my thoughts have gone somewhere that's not productive.
Good. So that's the
Awareness.
wiggle. So you're trying to get out of it, right? So you're coming up with some way to get out of it. You're going to do something different. You're going to make some other move, some action to wiggle out of it, right? Wiggle, and so you giggle. Good. Now, just before that, what do you notice?
I'm not
It's
in
an
my heart.
awareness.
Mm,
You have an awareness of,
Yeah, you become conscious.
yeah,
Conscious of what? Like what could
bringing
show up?
consciousness to the unconsciousness.
Of the pattern of the wobble.
Bringing awareness to the pattern and giving it love and laughing at it and appreciating it and making a different choice.
And it can happen both ways. It can happen one, like when things are good, like you're sitting in it and you say it in the moment, it's like, oh, like this is such an amazing moment. Have we all had those?
yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't have to be sitting in it. You can be out of it in an entirely different situation and notice it too.
Yeah, like just observing it.
Yeah, it's only painful if you attach to it. If you have any attachment to it.
No, it's a wobble is because we are attached to it. Yes. And it can be to a situation. It can, and what we practice here is to practice it around the words, because those are easy for us to see. Because everyone shows up in unique situations that are different. But the feeling, the wobble, the out of alignment is the same no matter what it is.
When you said attached, then I seen like a car pulling like a big caravan and like detaching from it. and you know, he was pulling that big load, and just to like let go and detach from it.
Mhm.
It's like,
So when you detach from it, which part moves? You, or does the caravan move away?
I'd say the car moves and leaves the caravan behind.
So you leave
Unless
the
I'm on a hill and then the
baggage.
caravan starts rolling away.
Mhm. And it's then,
Yeah.
so
if
you're,
you're doing down the hill,
so
Go on,
you're
Jess.
maybe the caravan's
unhooking.
passing the car. Yeah.
That's if you're going downhill, right? That's if you're spiraling down. Yes, that does happen.
Yeah.
And that's how most of us do live our life, is that way. But so then in a way, it's still attached.
Yeah, and that's if your suspenders are connected to the door handle.
Now I can see somebody flying along
Yeah, exactly.
with their arms flailing.
But you know, like when you're on a train, yeah, and the train beside you's moving, but you're not sure if they're moving or you're moving.
Or both of you are moving.
Not necessarily in the same direction.
Yeah. So that's an interesting question that opens a treasure trove. Are we going uphill, downhill? Is it moving? Are we moving away? But I bet that's metaphoric on a deep level, isn't it? Like what's actually happening there?
What the wobble, wiggle, giggle is to leave it in the leave it in the moment of now and move away from it. That's what happens. So as the next moment of now happens, that baggage stays there and we move on without it. Because time is always going forward from our construct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Energy doesn't know any time.
Yeah.
Energy doesn't know any time. So energy, we just leave it in that time.
But the habit is that it wants to keep pulling a caravan. And
yes, it does.
Yeah.
And
attach another one behind it.
Yeah. So that's the key. You see. So when we detach the caravan, then if we don't make a new decision for something like uplifting and beautiful to replace it, then before we know it, we'll just be like, actually, let's go get that caravan again. Yeah. So like we're not just releasing the tension of whatever the resistance was, but also replacing it, you know, with something uplifting, powerful, you know, strong, you know. Because they talked about that in this book about when you're switching your thinking, and imagine like all your kitchen cupboards. Imagine if you empty them all and you just completely declutter your house. But if you don't put anything new in its place, you'll just start pulling things from outside back in. Oh, I'll just take that back in, and then before you just left with all the junk again. You know.
And
so then that's it. It's like redesigning and like, okay, cool, that's gone. Well, what would I love in its place? You know.
That's right. Yep. And that is the next action. So that's why the giggle matters, right? The giggle is something that's new. And so what you're doing is, as soon as what you're learning is that as that habit comes up, you learn how to shift out of it, right? And then giggle into the next one. Otherwise,
and you do it quicker and quicker. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it takes time. It takes just like your focus. Like it's like you noticed as you put attention on it, your focus went for a while and then it drifted off and ran away with all the other thoughts. And then you're instead of being out there, let's come back into the breath. Yeah. It's practice. It's practice. It's practice. That's why we put words around it to explain the mechanisms.
Yeah, and Joe gave me something that I don't want to miss here, or that came to me. He said, you just want to laugh at it. When the wobble comes up, you just want to laugh at it. And what came to me, that we want to laugh with it. And
wow.
Separate it. Yeah, separate it from ourselves. So it as if that thing is another entity of some kind. It's not part of us. you know, the resistance isn't part of me, but the resistance is another entity. And when I consider it another, as not a part of me or someone else or something else, then I can look at my relationship to it.
Yeah.
When it's not part of me, I can look at the relationship with it.
Then also that they're like, who likes being laughed at? You know, no one likes being laughed at. Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
laughing with, there's a difference between laughing at and laughing with, you know? So that is a beautiful point, you know, not to laugh at the wobble, because then the wobble could get like, oh, he's laughing at me, you know? So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, it's more like an arm round, like laughing together, like, it's all right, look, wow, we're taking that seriously, won't we? It's all good, let's laugh about it together. Wow,
Yeah.
and then that's, because by laughing at it, you kind of also
Morning.
upholding the conflict of identity.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's
So and the
beautiful,
thing
that's
is, and then
beautiful.
once it's separate from you like that, you can ask it questions. You say, "Oh, okay, hi, hello, yeah, what are you trying to tell me? You know,
Wow.
what message are you carrying? What message are you carrying for me? What value do you have?"
Yeah, that reminds me as well what Kevin was saying last night about like how to learn this stuff is like by teaching it, but then teaching it and talking about it in yourself, like, and asking yourself
Hello.
questions like, oh, what does that mean? It's like by doing that, like the comprehension and depth to it. Do you know, like when you're asking yourself, well, what does that mean? And what does that mean? It's like,
Yeah,
and then you get an answer. It's like,
it
wow,
expands like crazy.
underrated.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
I love
And
that
so
observation.
what you can notice, and that is the awareness of just by changing at to with, how it completely changes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Laughing at it, laughing with it. Yeah, that wobble,
Yeah.
right? It's like, like boom, aha, boom. But it's listening, from the listening that Craig looked at it. He experienced it, thought about it, and said, oh, well, look, I can hear what he's saying, but here we can expand it, make it even bigger.
Yeah, one of them's inclusive and the other one's exclusive.
Yeah.
Saying another way. So those are always things that we're listening for. What is expanding and what is contracting?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And it's also easier to detach from something that you perceive as separate from you.
Yeah. And you're also,
you know, if you think it's part of you, then you don't
separation.
want to let it go because your identity is wrapped up in it. But if it's separate from you, then it's not entangled. You know, you can play with it, you can relate to it, you can interact with it, you can laugh with it, you can appreciate it.
You can give it a big hug.
Yeah, that too.
And
Send
maybe not refer to it
gratitude.
as it either. Like it's just another part of me. You're just another part of me.
Yeah, but the point is that it isn't a part of you. It's part of your experience, but it's not part of you.
It's a part of me that's not being loved, accepted, and allowed. Maybe.
Sometimes
Yeah,
people
you're
can't.
so okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you go
Go
ahead,
on,
Mona.
Mona, what you saying?
Sometimes people cannot discern that something is not a part of them. Sometimes it's been with them for so long they think it's on them. and they
Yeah.
want to get it off of them.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, but it's like pulling a tooth out,
Yeah,
you know, instead of it being separate from you. And then it's not like, you know, it's not like you're losing your left finger.
because when I was going through stuff, my parents were not understanding because I kept explaining to them I wasn't blaming them for stuff,
Hmm.
but I couldn't understand because I still felt like something was wrong.
Yeah.
And when Chris started explaining about family contracts, it was like everything just lit up for me. I suddenly got it. Period. When he was talking about contracts, that's where things started really being able to be let loose for me, because I felt like stuff was on me and I didn't understand why I felt like that
Mhm.
until Chris started talking about those things. And then I started feeling relief.
Yeah. You really got empowered by that, didn't you, Mona?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
From an energetic speaking, like it's an energetic contract. It's an energetic entanglement.
Yes.
That is what we're working to be aware of, is what we've entangled around words, around our patterns, around our automatics. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then we do it with the situational, because it happens situational too. So like that's where it happens with around our families. We're entangled with those energies. So we try to control them. And we do it in the way that we know how to control it. And if we are losing control, then we respond differently. They're all patterned. It's all programmed.
I noticed too that when you start breaking out of those energetic patterns, that sometimes your family doesn't respond well to that.
Mm-mm. No, because they're losing
Yeah.
control from their perspective. What they've always done no longer works, and that is frustrating for anyone.
Yeah, because the pattern is being questioned.
Yep. And then there's only one way we know how to do it, which is the way that we've been conditioned when we didn't get our way.
Yeah. Yeah, we take that
Yeah,
personally.
it's
That
our
gets taken
longest
personally.
relationship. It's our longest relationship. So if we lose that, what do we have?
And in all reality, it's our own relationship, right? It's the relationship with ourselves. It's the pattern with ourselves.
When Mona was speaking then, something that came to me was when she said she felt relief. And like that's kind of like the domino effect and end result of finding out all that contractual stuff. Okay, you got hit with that relief. And that reminds me of a few months ago when I was talking about relief, saying, like, say I lost my phone or something, or like lost my camera and I couldn't find it, I'd be like, just thinking, oh no, where's it gone? Blah, 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 blah. But then I realized that like the end result would be like when I found it, like relief, like, oh, I found it. So then what I started doing was like, I don't know if it's tricking myself, but like point is just like giving myself that relief even before I'd found it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's it. Just start like that relief. Just giving myself permission to feel that now. Are you saying something, mother? Yeah, when my mum says when you feel that relief, that's when you give yourself permission to like find it. So yeah, but obviously like whenever it happens, but yeah, with permission, with that word I was saying. Oh yeah, relief. Yeah, so that's it. Like I'll just, and I know it's easier said than done, but like when I have done it, I'll end up just finding it, you know. It'll just end up coming. So yeah, boom.
And look, the point is not whether you find it or not. The point is the practice of doing that again and again keeps you away from the worry, the stress, the anxiety of not having it.
The other thing that it helps with too is when you recognize it and you understand it, you also know how to set up boundaries to not engage in it.
Yes.
Especially when your family members are still in their patterns and they're still visiting their contracts.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Staying in your power, staying in your lane, staying in what you want, what you desire, you know, not giving into it, not giving power away, because most of us play a
What's that?
victim pattern.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Most of us play a victim pattern. And we want other people to engage in that victim pattern with us.
Mm-hmm.
That makes us feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, without a doubt.
Yeah, it's reassurance.
Bring you along with me, and that's where majority of people are. Let's bring you along with me. Let's stay. Now, people argue, fight, defend, and say, "No way, am I a victim?" It's like, I got it, but we act as if we are.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can say all you want about it, but when you look at the behavior, it's right there.
You can
It's
deny it and
obvious.
cover it up.
Yep. All you
Or
want.
try to. Yeah. Yeah.
That's like
That's why-
eating blueberries and saying you never did it, but whenever you open your mouth and smile, you got blue teeth.
That's right.
Yes, exactly.
And so what we're working to do is not only what we say, but condition how we feel about it. Learning how the feeling is, because the feeling is the truth of it. So if we just practice the deep relaxation again, right? Just to be in the silence. If it's conducive to your environment, if it's lines up with what you're doing, just find your center, find your heart. We're going to practice the wobble.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to speak back to that victim stuff we were talking about.
While we're finding our center, you do that, Mona. Thank you.
Okay. Since I have been accused and probably have done this a lot, been in my victim, and since I've been in the program, I've been really wary about when stuff comes up. The first thing I look at is where am I in my victim at? And what steps can I take to be in my power? So I try to be really observant about that, to not be in that position.
Mm-hmm. It's good, Mona. And when we think of like, where am I giving my power? We can think of where am I handing the authority? What am I handing the authority to? What is higher than me? What am I giving it? What am I holding as higher than me? Great lesson. Thank you, Mom. So all that we want to do is feel the words. So as I say the words, just feel them. Yes. Notice where you feel it. Notice the tendency. It's like, what action does your body want to do when you hear the word yes? Joy. Positive. Love. No. Should. Can't. But. No. Just notice the difference between those. And then when I say you are powerful, do you say yes or no to that? You're genius. You are a genius. And you are powerful. In the context of wobble, what did you notice?
Expanding and contracting.
Mhm. what would you say to someone that just experienced that for the first time? How would you help them amplify what they may have experienced?
I will say to them, give yourself permission to feel. And that will amplify the feeling.
Thank you, Pascal. We can have unlimited thoughts, right? Unlimited, like thoughts can range from I don't even know to I don't even know. Like the range of thoughts is infinite. We can think that emotions are infinite. In all reality, there's only positive, negative, and neutral. There's expanding, contraction, contracting, and neutral. That's so much easier to work with just 2 or 3. That's what I find that for me, for the wobble. Positive, expansion, infinite, positive. Those are all what we want. Now, we don't want it all the time, right? It's not possible every moment. But anytime we think about what we do want, like what we would love to have, what we love is a positive. It's expanding. And so we can think about, oh, how do I spend the majority of my day? Positive or negative? Positive, negative, or neutral. That way you can't say, oh, they're even. Right? That's awareness. Awareness of our patterns, awareness of our majority, awareness of what our thoughts are, because our thoughts can be positive, negative, and neutral.
So I'm thankful that I've been working my way into neutral.
Mm-hmm. I think that is where the best place to be comes from, is neutral.
Yeah.
The less wobbles there, right?
Yeah, and being aware of that is really helpful, actually, on many levels.
Mhm.
For me to get to that point, to be neutral, is to do what I tangibly know to be true without expectation. Come, Pancho. Trying to get away from like garbage truck, and then they follow me. I think the key is the without expectation.
Yeah, we haven't got there yet. That's a whole nother bite. Got a good introduction to it.
Maybe tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next day. But yeah, that's part of it.
Mhm. It's coming.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
The expectation is so tied up into right and wrong.
Yeah.
I'm right.
Yeah.
I can't be wrong.
Well, yeah, and our tendency to jump into the next step before we've integrated the one we're in the middle of, right?
Yep.
It's just the way we are these days.
Okay, guys. I think they agree.
Yeah.
Big time. Anyway, I gotta go anyway. I'm gonna
Right.
go back to
Me
work.
too.
You
But
have a
have
good
a
day,
wonderful day,
Pascal.
guys.
Thanks, Pascal.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
Pascal, have a
too.
blessed one, mate.
Yeah. Have a good last day and enjoy it.
Mm. Oh no, like I'm not working today.
Oh,
Well, not in vacation.
not working. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So tomorrow too. So, but I'm gonna. Yeah, guess my goal is to go for a walk in the morning, so I can be with you guys. So.
Yeah. Thank you for being
Cool.
all in today, Pascal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pascal, man, let me know if you want to listen to some Kevin Trudeau one night, man. I've got flipping level 1 to 5, mate. We can blast through it.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Only take us a couple of years to get through it all.
A couple years, yeah. And that's just like level 1. Yeah.
I love you guys, all right?
Yeah.
Big love, Pascal, Craig,
Have a good day,
Mona,
guys.
Jess.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.
See ya.
Bye, guys. Big love.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Mona.
Bye.
Thank you.
Mwah, mwah,
Thanks,
mwah, mwah,
Craig,
mwah.
Joe.
Bye.
Bye. All.